The misty mountains cold.
Is this that Hobbit shit?
Hello, and welcome to That Hobbit Shit. I'm Corey.
And I'm Mike.
Hey, Mike, we're back.
Hey, Corey.
What are we up to today?
Well, I don't know about you, but I watched 2 episodes since the last time we met.
You poor man.
I'm feeling a little bit better as a man, actually. Uh, but before we talk about it, do you want to hit up the Green Dragon?
Yes, yeah, for sure. I'm actually about halfway down my Green Dragon, so we should probably we should probably get there real quick.
Okay, let's go.
But the only food for the brave and true comes from the Green Dragon.
But okay, well, since we're into introductions here, welcome to the Green Dragon Inn, the segment where we discuss the beers that we've selected for today's ordeal. Mike, what are you drinking today?
So, Corey, killer cucumber ale from Steamworks Brewery.
No, I don't believe you, but tell me about it.
Well, it's an ale, and it has a refreshing cucumber aftertaste.
Okay.
Kind of like cucumber water.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's like a pickle beer without the disgusting pickle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember pickle beers. Yeah, okay. Huh, interesting. Do you like it?
It's all right. I wouldn't get it again.
Yeah.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? It could be, I don't know if there's real cucumber in here. Have you ever had cucumber chips? Like potato chips with cucumber flavor?
No. No,
That's
I
a
don't think
thing.
so.
It tastes like that.
Huh, weird. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, what are you drinking? There's no information on anything here.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, yeah. Well, Mike, you've really I think you've certainly outdone me in the weirdness of your beers, which I appreciate. I keep finding beers that are very appropriately titled, like Cod Swallop, for example.
Sorry about
but
that.
but today I'm drinking Fluff because this whole series is just fluff.
So are you drinking a jar of marshmallow?
It is a pale ale called Fluff from Willibald Brewery. Willibald's out of Ayr, Ontario.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of back towards my original neck of the woods, like KW area ish.
So it's not a jar of marshmallow fluff.
No.
Oh.
It's like I actually don't like it, to be completely honest. It says it's a pale ale, but it's one of those hazy pale ales, and it's got like a sweet fruit undertone.
Oh boy.
Which is kind of one of my least favorite things.
All right, the summary. How do we usually start that?
Oh well, I suppose we should say we are doing 2 episodes today out of
Two episodes. What are they called?
have we been episode
We
7
haven't.
is sorry?
We haven't.
We haven't, no. You got a name for episode 6?
Do you want a comical name or do you want just the name?
Comical name.
Can I be honest? I don't remember much of what happens in episode 6.
That's a pretty comical name if you ask me.
Okay. Episode 6, hurry up and wait. How about that?
You fuck. Yeah, that's a good one, Mike.
Okay, Corey. So we start out with Arondir running after some orcs, killing them, and finding a map to Eregion? Question mark? Because I don't know. And then we cut over to Celebrimbor getting pretty grumpy and forgetful, maybe, and forgetting the names of some of his underlings that he's known for thousands of years, and possibly losing his mind.
Possibly.
He sends Sauron to go deal with the ever greedier dwarves. You see, the trade routes have closed and dead bodies are showing up, but it's no big deal.
Yeah, also greed is not in the nature of the dwarves, Mike.
Is it not?
Apparently not. That's what they keep saying.
That was the point of The Hobbit. Anyway, Adar and Galadriel are having a nice dinner. Who made this dinner? I don't know. But they're discussing some mutual friends. We find out Morgoth's crown is the one thing that can be used to kill Sauron,
Sure, why not?
but it needs a little bit of extra power added to it in the form of a ring, perhaps.
They need to
Um,
supercharge it.
I think so. Elendil. So wait, so Sauron likes to wear Morgoth's crown, which can kill him, and he's made some rings, which combined with the crown he wants to wear will kill him for sure.
uh, well, I don't disagree with you, Mike. I think you have to be wrong.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, so Elendil's on trial
Oh yeah,
for being in that I don't know what it was called, that religious area,
shrine, sure.
the shrine, sure, for being there and causing an uprising when what's his pickle's son stabbed the other guy.
Yep, in cold blood.
He could be set free, but he refuses to acknowledge Farazan as the true king. So it seems like they're going to send him off to sea.
Yeah.
Tom Bombadil and Gandalf are busy chit-chatting about magic. And the hobbits are talking about things I don't care about and kissing people I care even less about. But apparently they're going to fight.
Apparently, yeah.
Gandalf sets off to find his staff in a forest of stabs. But it seems like there might be a trick afoot.
Yeah, maybe.
The dwarves are getting greedier. Durin refuses to share his mithril with Sauron or take off his ring. Shit is getting fucked in Moria. And Sauron has a little vision of a Balrog in a torch. Did you catch that?
Yes, yeah.
Subtle. Back over to Elendil being punished. He's about to be cast into the sea, but he's in his cell, and his shitty daughter comes to visit him one last time.
She's the worst.
She is the worst. She can't convince him to acknowledge Farazan as the true king, so she brings in the real queen to try to talk him into it. The queen can't talk him into it. Back in Moria, Disa is sabotaging digging crews with bats she's summoning, and Durin is getting pretty into it.
You've addressed several of my notes in your summary.
Flip back to the queen, who, in place of Elendil, goes to her serpent death. It turns out there was a giant serpent waiting.
Yes.
They summon it with some horns.
A
conch,
horn, maybe?
Something. And they send the queen waiting out to be snatched away by the serpent. The serpent doesn't want to eat the queen, so the queen is the queen again.
Another one of my notes.
Yeah. Farazan somehow still has the Palantir, and he sees Sauron in it, so he's going to do something.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. It's episode 7, let me remind you. And Galadriel has finally confessed to somebody that Halbrand is Sauron. Adar is not happy to know that. He's going to start a siege in Eregion after lecturing Galadriel at length about Sauron's manipulation.
Yes.
Things are getting pretty spicy in Eregion between Celebrimbor and Sauron. But Sauron casts a high-level deception spell and smooths it over. Apparently, Sauron also stole some mithril while he was in Moria, it seems.
Yes, straight from Narvi.
Stolen. For sure, mithril.
Spoilers, Mike. That's a very good summary.
That episode was all over the place.
I agree. I also think that it was probably the best one so far.
Yeah, me too.
Which is weird.
And I have a note about that I'll talk about after we discuss episode 7.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of addressed this in your summary. One of the things that I wanted to mention at the beginning of this episode, it started with Arondir, and I could not for the life of me remember what the fuck he was supposed to be doing. Because wasn't he?
He's just running around
Yeah, like wasn't he with the kid and then the Ents, and then now he's hunting orcs for some reason?
on his own. Elendil's somewhere, but I don't know where.
Oh yeah, Isildur.
Oh
Yeah.
no, sorry, not Elendil. Isildur.
Yeah. I'm not really sure where he's at and why he's separated from Arondir now. I thought they were bros, but I guess not.
Somehow they got separated.
Sure. I don't know. I just had no idea. And he was only in the first like minute of the episode, then he never came back.
Yeah. He's also the coolest elf.
Yes, actually, I have some notes about that in episode 7, which I'll discuss after that.
Yeah, I'm just so glad he's part of the show because he's my favorite elf and the only one that seems to be useful.
Yes.
Even if he's not used to drive the plot forward,
Yeah, he is one of the most useful is probably the best word, like one of the most useful characters. Like I don't know, self-sufficient. Yeah, I don't know. There's a literary term that I'm not thinking of for like a character that does things for himself.
doesn't at some point doesn't a dwarf say these elf boys are good in a pinch?
I hope not. I hope that's never said.
Well, he's good in a pinch. Did you notice that Adar is wearing a Sauron style gauntlet in his dining room scene with Galadriel?
Oh no, I did not notice that. Not till you pointed it out.
It was cool. It was a cool little touch.
Do you think Sauron's gonna like eat him like he ate that lady and then turn into a guy?
Possibly.
I don't know.
Oh, probably not.
Yeah, probably not. No.
I think he's done his eating for a while.
I have a question for you in regards to Adar. Why and how would he know anything at all about the existence of the Elven Rings?
That's a really good question. He would need an elven spy, wouldn't he?
I mean, I think so. Because they were forged in a region, and then they went to the other one.
I don't remember the other one either. Linden.
Linden, yeah, thank you. I knew it started with an L. It's not supposed to be like common knowledge.
Yeah. I think we have trouble remembering Linden because, as far as we know, it's only a tree on a mountain.
Yes, run by the manager of the local Staples. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Long may he reign.
Yeah.
Why'd they give fucking Bombadil Gandalf's famous quote?
I don't know. I think that's the second time that something that was in the Peter Jackson trilogy has been said in this series by a different character.
Why do that at all?
I don't know. Oh my God, I cannot wrap my head around that. I have no idea, Mike. It's embarrassing. It makes me feel weird when I'm watching it.
It is embarrassing. And especially when it's like lifted from the text too, but like in a totally different book. Because there's stuff in the Silmarillion they could use.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
We'll be talking more about that kind of thing when we talk about the next episode.
Well, speaking of the not Gandalf story, I have a note about it that it is ridiculous how long it is taking for anything to happen in his storyline.
Yeah, I kind of feel like they should have staggered seasons. So like this season could just be the elves and the rings, and next season could be Gandalf and the hobbits. So we'd actually give a shit about anything that's going on there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like his story is so boring.
Nothing's happened.
Nothing. Not a single thing. Yeah.
And like I don't really care about the hobbits at all.
No. No. Neither do I.
I don't even know their names. Like I can't be bothered.
I think I only know the
Nori. I know Nori.
Yeah, Nori. I think the other one's just Girl Sam. I'm sorry.
And why did Girl Sam have to make out with the goofiest fucking hobbit in that whole village?
I don't know, but I also don't care.
He's the Jar Jar Binks of this show.
Or he would be if he had more fucking screen time, but he's
That's
only been
true.
on this. He's only been in
That's
it for
true.
3 minutes.
Uh, um, I just have a note. Put your beard into it, Corey.
Is that weird like pillow talk between Durin and Disa?
Oh my god, no! I think they're trying to. The dwarves are trying to take the mine shaft from. I don't remember when they say it. I think they say put your beards into it, but it's not in bed.
It's just a euphemism.
Yeah, and I have a note. What the fuck kind of kingdom is Numenor?
My note is where is it? The superstition of Numenor is hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just ruled by the most like ridiculous circumstances. Like Eagle shows up. Oh my god, that guy's the king. Monster doesn't eat the queen. Oh my god, that's the queen.
She's for sure the queen. And like that could easily be it's easier to misinterpret that than it is to misinterpret the eagle. Like they could have spun that one.
Yeah, I was surprised that he just like what's his face? Firezon just sort of stood there and took that non-specific superstitious event.
Yeah.
Like yeah, that was weird. He was just like, oh, I'm defeated.
I've got one positive note.
Okay.
The Did you know that the transition from Nice Day to Night Siege in Iragon,
Region?
Irigion, that was a practical effect?
Oh.
Yeah, they pretty cool. Like I think they had a bunch of lights and mirrors and stuff they were using, and they just transitioned during the turn from the camera.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, that's pretty sweet. Yeah.
I am enjoying Sauron, I gotta say.
Oh yeah. I like him as Anatar. That like yeah, him corrupting people and convincing them to do awful things and making them think it's their own idea is like, yeah, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, I hate the elves. I like what they're doing with Sauron, and I like the dwarves. That's about it.
The dwarves took a bit of a hit for me in this episode because of the bat summoning song. that was not that cool, I thought.
Yeah, but they could have. There's oftentimes in the show, it seems like that there's a reasonable thing that could happen, and then they have some nonsensical thing happen instead. Like she could have brought down some rocks with that singing.
Yep.
And they could have ran away, or they could have blocked the shaft or whatever.
Yeah, or it could have bludgeoned one of them. I don't know.
Yeah. But instead she summons bats.
Yeah, and they're also like cave dwelling dwarves are also apparently afraid of bats.
Well, yeah, they bite.
Like right, of course. Yeah. They must run into bats all bats are probably like fucking squirrels for them. Like
yeah.
Yeah, but
maybe more like raccoons, and like, to be fair, I wouldn't really mess with a raccoon.
Yeah, okay, actually I like that better actually. Yeah, if you leave your tasty rocks exposed at night, bats will come and eat them.
They could be vampire bats, Corey.
Sure, they could.
Be.
Yeah, they might be.
They could be honest to goodness vampires.
They could be mithril sucking werewolf vampire bats.
I want a werewolf or a vampire in this show. Why the fuck can't we have one?
There has to be at some point Sauron has to be cornered, and he's gonna have to turn into a werewolf. There's no other option.
Yeah.
My very last note about this episode is Mike, was that a statue of Fëanor in the courtyard?
It sure was.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, Celebrimbor's grandpappy or uncle or.
Oh, is he related to him? Oh, he's probably related to him. I forgot about that and didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. I can't remember in what way.
That would make sense. You couldn't really be a great elven smith without the blood of Fëanor.
No, or the blood of Sauron, apparently.
On that note, should we move to episode 7?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. Do you have any more notes about episode 6 though? I'm not cutting you off.
that's all I got. But Celebrimbor is the son of Curufin, who was the fifth son of Fëanor.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, sweet. Excellent. So it makes sense that he would have a statue of his grandfather creating the greatest things that have ever been created.
Yeah, his foolhardy grandfather.
For all the trouble the Silmarils caused, the Silmarils themselves were not evil.
That's true.
Yeah, anyhow. Episode 7, 6 was hurry up and wait. Episode 7 is like fan fiction come to life. So what happened here? Adar is continuing to attack Eregion. He is blocking the river so his army can advance. And Celebrimbor is even more deceived, and he's almost finished the rings, the man rings that is. And then suddenly Arondir shows up, which is great. And then Narvi decided that the Dwarven ring is fucked, and that Durin is wrong. And then Elrond showed up. Because people travel awfully fast in this show, Mike. And then it turns out, sorry?
I have a note on that, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Where we go? It turns out, as we almost mentioned, instead of Mithril, Celebrimbor was actually forging the 9 with Sauron's blood.
Or just his goopy body, it could have been.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess it doesn't necessarily.
No, sorry for interrupting.
Cool. I don't know, kind of neat. Anyway, and then the Elven army show up, and then Elrond and Galadriel kiss. And is this reading a bit like a fan fiction to you, Mike? I don't know. It's just like this character is here, and then this character saved them, and then they kissed, and then fuck. And then war were declared. And then the orcs are starting to get a little upset with all the death and not love that they're receiving from Adar. Meanwhile, the dwarves were supposed to help the elves at dawn, but they did not show up because they had to fight the king. The entire army had to stay and fight one guy with an axe. Arondir helps Galadriel escape from the orc camp, and the elves have to fight a troll. And Celebrimbor cuts his thumb off to escape from Sauron's trickery, but he has finished the 9. He meets up with Galadriel, and then Galadriel escapes with the 9 rings of men. The elves lose the war. Adar kills Arondir, and Adar also ends up with one of the elven rings. And unless I'm missing something, that was the episode.
He also killed the High Lord of the Elves.
Gilgalad?
I'm pretty sure he did, didn't he?
He probably should have. I kept waiting for that to happen, and I was ready to I was on my feet, ready to yell bullshit. But
I'm pretty sure they all died at the end, except for Elrond.
Yeah, well, which doesn't make sense because Gilgalad is supposed to be there. I'm pretty sure he is there in the final battle with Sauron when Isildur can't cast it into the fire or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's Gilgalad's last ride.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know, man.
Kind of. Maybe he drags himself away.
Yeah, probably. He probably escapes somehow and is already back in Lindon. he uses the fast travel because he's unlocked that. Did you have any notes about this episode, Mike?
Or I have a ton of notes. Why are most of the elves so shitty in this show?
I have no idea. Oh, actually, that reminds me. You know what? I skipped one of my more important notes from the last episode, but you brought it up. For episode 6, I wrote, I take issue with an elven city both being unaware of an orc attack and panicking when it actually happens.
Yeah. They should be able to repel the orcs for a long time.
Yeah, and I feel like it's kind of like how we were talking about, I think last time we recorded, about like they're all just composing symphonies and painting masterpieces at all times. Like I think they're all warriors. Like I don't think they would fall to pieces if
Yeah.
the orcs came.
Yeah. And occasionally there's an elf who's like really, really good, but most of them just suck.
Specifically Arondir is very good, and
Yeah.
comparatively the rest of them suck.
Yeah. Why are there not more elves like Arondir? And why would they send an army full of people who are shitty, or elves that are shitty?
At least Gilgalad finally kind of threw down.
Yeah.
I
At
mean,
the last stand.
yeah. So to answer your question, Mike, I don't know. I don't know why the elves all suck.
I have a note that says it's best not to think about the timeline too much.
Uh, is that in regards to people traveling very quickly?
Yeah, and like there's one point where Celebrimbor needs a few more days,
Oh
and
yeah,
he still just finishes the rings. Like
yeah,
I think one night passes, or not even.
yeah. It's very unclear because like either through the whole thing, no matter what's going on, either nothing happens or everything happens. Um, and so you're like, yeah, like how much time has actually passed? And when Durin and Elrond are reunited, they're acting like they haven't seen each other in like 20 years.
Yeah,
Like,
I think last season Elrond got banished, right?
yes, he did.
So, but it's been like 6 months.
I think at the absolute most, but it's
It's
really
been
difficult.
a tough 6 months for Durin.
Durin's been to Eregion twice in that time period.
That's
Uh,
true.
yeah, you're very right. It's best not to think about the timeline.
There's
Uh,
a scene where King Durin grabs his axe to go take care of shit himself, and then you just never see him again.
oh
Which,
yeah, that's before Prince Durin is marshaling the army.
yeah, and they made it seem like King Durin is gonna jump him from behind or something.
Oh, I so thought that was going to happen. And I was going to be a little upset if he just axed him in the back. But at the same time, I was like, that I could deal with that as a plot point.
Yeah, instead he just like marched around. He grabbed it in haste to Corey, and then far later, it seems, he attacked a legion of dwarves.
I guess it took him a while to get down to where they're supposed to be digging, where I guess the Balrog is behind a wall.
And now he's digging by himself.
It looked like he was digging in Narvi's skull.
Oh, how weird the timeline is in Moria.
Yeah, or anywhere. It's very confusing. Like, how long has Gandalf been at Tom Bombadil's house? How long have those hobbits known that buffoon hobbit to be kissing him? I don't know.
As far as we know, they've been kissing for an hour.
It could be years.
Yeah,
Remember when they told us about the Dark Wizard? And we were like, "Oh, something's gonna happen."
yeah. Nothing, fucking nothing has happened with that
Absolutely
storyline.
nothing.
And there's a lot that has to happen with oh, okay, so this was one of my notes. When the elves showed up, I thought that was Numenor showing up at first.
Oh, because it was so splendid.
Yeah, and I thought, okay, finally they're giving Numenor their due.
Yeah,
And I thought, is this where Sauron just gives up when he sees Numenor and like is taken captive?
that's funny. I actually kind of had a similar thought. Because yeah, it was so awesome when they were riding in.
Yeah,
Um,
and just the elves. They're gonna fuck up.
yeah, well, yeah, because apparently the elves suck, which is really confusing. And like, yeah, and they had Galadriel captive, and like, why? There's there is no they've not given us a reason in this series why Galadriel is so important. Like there's
Right.
no reason for them to care for every single elf to care so much about Galadriel.
Yeah, you just have to know. And if you don't know, yeah.
Yeah, you're left just shrugging and you're like there is like like the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. Like that's Star Trek 101, man. Like you
Yeah,
keep
and
attacking.
all they would have to there would just have to be a scene saying how like they have the most beautiful elf.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
anything like that. Yeah. Yeah, the most beautiful hair that anyone's ever had or whatever, because I guess her hair is the best.
even the she orcs think so.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. But it's just not clear enough. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, it's
Um,
weird.
yeah.
Uh you kind of mentioned it, but why did Elrond and Galadriel kiss?
I guess it was supposed to shock us. I kind of thought it was funny because it sort of supports our calling Celeborn the Cuckmaster General.
I don't remember calling him that.
I think we called it that several times actually.
Was that last season?
Yeah, it was when we were yeah, it must have been season oh boy, what season were we on now? Three?
This is season 2.
I mean no of the books.
Oh,
It was whenever the characters were in Lothlorien, we were calling him that. It
you're right. When he's watching Gimli just flirt with his wife.
just very shamelessly flirt with his wife.
Wait, is that Celebrimbor?
That's Celeborn.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know what his lineage is. We looked into this in the Matham House at some point, what Celeborn's lineage is, and he is like, none of this is specifically shocking, but I think he's like thousands of years younger than Galadriel. So like
Yes, that's
maybe he's
true.
not even born yet. I don't know.
Doesn't she have a husband somehow in this timeline too, in this show?
They might. I feel like they mentioned him in the first season.
Yeah. He like went to the war and was lost or something.
Yeah. So where the
Things could be
fuck?
a lot worse. Like he could have Adar could have revealed that that was him or something.
And then they would have kissed. Oh man, fan fiction all over the place.
Yeah, it could be worse. They could have made more orcs.
I was almost waiting for you to continue that sentence, but then
No,
I
I
realized, yeah.
left it hanging.
I saw a meme when I logged into our Instagram briefly the other day that was like when the second in command orc was like looking at his wife and his baby. It was something about them fucking. I was like, yep. You gotta be careful how much you reveal about orc personal life.
um, uh, launching that orc at the wall was a bit unnecessary.
That was a bad idea because like that could have killed like 20 elves. Like
Right.
like it was
Or
aimed at the city.
or broken the wall that was very vulnerable at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
The wall that Elrond then put his life on the line to defend.
I mean, I guess you gotta make up for your own mistakes in some way, but like, yeah, that was a bit ridiculous.
The okay, my my one note is this battle makes no fucking sense.
Anything in particular that made it make
N-
no fucking sense to you?
None of it makes sense. Like I couldn't make sense of it. Like it seems like there was just a ragtag group of elves running through the ranks of orcs and having
Yes.
random battles throughout.
Yep. Yeah, that's what it seemed like for sure. But I don't know what happened to the like the entire army that was in a big line, but
I don't know. But a bunch of them broke off and they were just like the orcs weren't just killing all of them. They were letting them run through and do this and that through the entire night.
how did Arondir have such a close watch on the orc camp that he could see Galadriel, see the orcs that were about to expose Galadriel, kill them from a distance, and then escape with her, and then they both made it inside the city walls after that?
I, see, that's more plausible than a whole army of elves moving around.
Yeah, yeah, I suppose so. These are just two of them.
Yeah, and
Um,
like like Arondir is the best elf that we've seen, and he would have some like woodcraft and would probably be able to figure out where the camp is and sneak up.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, he's clad in the forest.
Why did they kill him?
Yeah, okay, so I have a note about that. If Arondir is dead, I am so fucking pissed. Like, do not give me an original character, make him the most badass person in this whole stupid series, and then kill him so unceremoniously.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a cool battle.
No, no, he just lost in hand-to-hand combat with Adar.
Yeah, and like not in a great way.
Nope. Yeah, he didn't cut Adar's Sauron hand off or anything, but yeah. I mean, he was kind of writhing on the ground, so I'm assuming he'll probably survive.
Oh, you think he survived?
I would assume so because like yeah, he's the best character.
Oh, okay. So maybe a bunch of them still like survive. That that cave troll was cool, as annoying as all of that was.
I didn't mind. I kind of like the idea that the orcs are like you said you would love us, and yet you send in this guy that's just murdering us as much as he's murdering the
Yeah,
elves.
eating us while he runs,
Yeah,
using us as a shield.
yeah. I like that part too, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed the troll. It's I think I said a few episodes ago, it's like different teams work on different sections of the show. And
Yeah.
like the troll team was firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would say so. Um, yeah, it's also we're sort of talking about how it doesn't seem like it's grand enough to be the second age. How awful that one troll was. That to me seems about right.
Yeah, you get these little peeks at what things could be.
Yeah, like things were just so fucked then. I guess in a similar way along the lines of the sea monster, though I don't know why the sea monster would have any sort of like political leanings so as not to eat the queen.
Best not to think about it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't think about it. My very first note that I had about this that I wrote down as soon as this episode started was, oh my god, hour 7, and we finally get a scene of actual forging. This is like
my first note was Celebrimbor is fucked on some Radagast shit.
Yeah, definitely. He just keeps seeing that mouse.
Yeah.
His little spirit guide.
It's kind of funny that it's like it's that trope where they loop the security footage, but they don't loop enough of it.
I know, yeah. But it's like it doesn't work when it's like elven magic. Like,
Yeah.
like yeah, I see what they're doing. I feel like that supports the like AI may have wrote this whole series kind of theory.
Yeah. Got some more. The, the 9 rings can't be melted in fire.
I'm assuming that like the fire wasn't even on, I guess, like because he was all fucked up.
Okay, that makes more sense because they should be meltable. It's just the 1 ring, isn't it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, I don't think anything's ever said about how difficult it is to destroy the other rings because the 1 ring was forged in Mount Doom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when is Sauron going to compose that little rhyme?
Season 4?
Oh.
Oh no, maybe at the end of this one he'll have his back turned and he'll be facing Mordor and he'll be whispering, or maybe it'll be a song. They'll get a local folk singer to play it over the credits. So
I bet Nori writes it.
fuck.
Do you know what's supposed to happen to Celebrimbor next episode?
No.
Well,
based on what?
Based on the book.
Oh, okay. No, tell me.
Sauron is quite mad at him. I won't tell you because it might still happen.
Okay.
It will be the most awful thing that's happened in the show.
Even worse than him cutting his own thumb off?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to do it, but launching that orc at the wall makes me feel like they should do it.
Should I just wait and see?
Yeah, you should wait. I don't want to ruin it for you.
Okay, sweet.
If it happens, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, it crossed my mind a couple of times that I couldn't remember what Celebrimbor's fate was, like how he actually died. Because obviously he didn't make it out of the second age.
I have a note that this is the worst day of his life.
But that's confusing because how many days was it?
Yeah. Well, he's repeating the same day over and over and over.
Yeah, it was little Groundhog Day with the mouse. Yeah. I have a note that every single event in this show is just a plot convenience.
Yeah, everything's super convenient. It's to the point where it's super annoying.
Yeah, I specifically wrote this when they knocked over those very conveniently placed rocks on the mountain to dam the river. One
I
of them
was
looked like a child set it up.
that was exactly what I was thinking of when I said it seems like things happen. Like there's an obvious thing that could happen, and instead of doing that, the most ridiculous thing happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I like, and they damn that river so fucking fast.
Yeah, immediately. Yeah. It was like it was so almost laughably similar to like the volcano plot from season one. Like
Yeah.
like the geography of Middle Earth itself is like a plot convenience.
Yeah. I still liked a lot of the episode. It's just that battle was terribly directed.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense. It felt like I could never tell who was winning until the end when there were like 12 elves left.
Yeah. It was also a little confusing that the elves were pretty convinced that they were gonna lose. Um
Yeah.
I don't know why they were convinced they were gonna lose.
And why how come at no point did any elves come out of the city to help fight?
I don't know. That's a very good question. Yeah, like that was their chance, but they just like there was just like six guys on the wall shooting arrows, and that was
Yeah.
it.
There's got to be thousands in there, right? You would think.
Yeah, with like the size of the city that they showed and the amount of like damage it was able to take from that orc army, that is a huge elven city.
Yeah, like 10,000 elves maybe ish in there.
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah. They should have been fine.
They should have been fine. They shouldn't have panicked. They should have known what to do.
There should have been other elves who could have helped with the defense instead of just having one elf in charge.
Yeah. Yeah, and like why was Myrdania why was she on the outer wall? Like she's supposed to be one of the elven smiths, and yet she's just sort of like wandering around behind the like archers at the front line of the battle.
Oh yeah.
It's not very well organized.
No, like, and she could have just fallen on in like the inner area. Like, she could have fallen to her death. That would have been enough.
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah, she had a pretty brutal death.
Yeah. Um. So next episode, do you want to make any predictions? I think that well, Sauron has to take the army, right? The orc army.
I guess either that or escape. But I feel like he's kind of backed into a corner because he's just in the city.
Yeah, I think this is going by the book. He takes the army at this point.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right.
Um, I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't know how either.
Oh, well, I guess the seeds have been planted. Adar doesn't love the orcs like they think he does.
Oh, yeah, maybe he'll get them to turn on Adar. Yeah, okay. Interesting. But Adar has the ring, Mike, and the crown of Morgoth.
He certainly does.
Mike, do you have any predictions about like who we will see in the next episode? Do you think we'll see Gandalf and the hobbits?
Um, so what I think is going to happen, Corey, is Gandalf will realize he's not going to find his staff in that forest. He's going to go help the hobbits and get it that way, and it's going to be him proving his worth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Uh, just not excited about it at all.
No, kind of lame, but yeah.
He'll go help the hobbits, and then Tom Bombadil will show up and say, "You've passed your test."
Oh, for fuck's sakes. You're probably so correct that it hurts.
Celebrimbor will die. I
Yeah.
think that's
Yeah.
going to happen. Galadriel and Elrond are going to make a baby,
Maybe it'll be an orc. Who knows?
an orc baby, and the baby will be Aragorn. Aragorn.
Oh, and he'll claim the ring or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Something has to happen in Numenor too.
yeah. So we had an eagle and then a sea monster. Um,
This should be the point where Numenor comes storming in and Farazan starts creating his own, like amassing his own power by saving the elves. Something should happen there, right? Like you would think.
you would
He's
think
gotta
so,
be-
yeah. But as far as I mean, like, you can't really say this because like Adar knew all about the rings or whatever, but like as far as should be, Numenor shouldn't have any clue what's going on in Eregion
Yeah,
or
well,
anywhere in Middle Earth for that matter.
he does have the
Oh, yes,
call
the
it
Palantir.
the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Palantir, and someone is showing him things they want him to see.
Right, 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 right.
That someone probably being Sauron.
I mean, I guess.
It could also be Saruman, the Dark Wizard.
Yeah, I have a feeling we're gonna be left in like some pretty awful suspense.
Yeah.
I mean, like if you care, I suppose, but
For 2 years, will Gandalf be revealed as Gandalf, or are they still going to work on the rights to that name?
oh, I don't know. I doubt they have the rest of that name if they're making that the Hunt for Gollum movie, because
Man,
that's like a whole other what do you call it, production company, isn't it?
yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, a brief side note, and maybe my last note, because this does kind of pertain to things. I watched the first 2 episodes of the Fallout series, and like, have you watched it, Mike?
Yeah, I love that. I love that show.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So about half an hour into the first episode, I said to myself, "Wow, I care more about these like 3 main characters than I have ever cared about any character in 2 seasons of The Rings of Power."
Yeah,
And it's also an Amazon show. Like it's just
yeah. And there's a lot going on. It's not like there's nothing going on.
nope. Yeah, there's a lot going on, lots of different angles, different societies and stuff. Similar to The Rings of Power, you could even say.
Yeah. I want to add an addition to my prediction. Gandalf's going to get his name when he saves the hobbits. That's what I think.
Yeah, one of them will just be like,
I
"You're
think
called Gandalf."
I think Tom Bombadil will call him the Grand Elf or something.
Or maybe yeah, they'll say Grand Elf, and that buffoon hobbit will be like, "Would you say Gandalf?"
Hugh?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be upsetting. And then there's gonna be a really spectacularly awful song played over the credits.
Like that last episode.
Yeah, what was that like death metal song?
I don't know. They usually it's fine, and there have been 2 this season that have been just terrible choices. What was I going to say? The worst thing is the show's getting better as
Yeah.
it goes on.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's a very confusing series, man.
Yeah, like I don't know. I still the treatment of the elves in Numenor is unforgivable, and I can't come back from it.
No, yeah, I agree. Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. They I don't want to get too long-winded here, but at the end of the first season, they kind of like I didn't love it. It was my favorite thing in the world, but at the end of it made some of the stuff in the middle much, 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 much better.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to be able to pull that off this time because the episodes are actually getting sort of consistently more okay.
maybe this next episode will be great.
Yeah,
We'll
maybe
find
there'll
out.
be some wild plot twist and we'll be like, wow, that makes everything better.
Well, we'll talk about it on Friday or
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah, soon enough. shit, on that note, stay tuned and look forward to our final Rings of POOer season 2 episode review. I think we're pretty sure there's 8 episodes.
Yeah, it's 8 episodes. I double checked.
Okay, cool.
Couldn't believe we were already at 7. That's why I knew.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah. Well, that's why some of the things were so ridiculous. Like it took us this long to get here.
This long for Galadriel to admit that Halbrand is Sauron.
This long for Elrond and Galadriel to admit their deep attraction for each other.
They've been kissing on the sly for a while.
Well, anyhow, thanks for listening. You can find us on Instagram at That Hobbit Shit, Twitter at Hobbit Shit, patreon.com/That Hobbit Shit to support the show and get Hobbit Shit merchandise. And what am I missing? You can email us thathobbitshit@gmail.com, especially if you have a recipe you want to see us make on the show. Though that's a story for a different season. I guess that's it. I'm Corey.
And I'm Mike.
And may the hair on your toes
POOer never fall out.